Tiger leather didn't need a lot done. They needed a little bit of tweak. They already had all their equipment. They had their leather, but that to give them some different leather. To understand as well, something that we've found is that the market for their products that they have and other artisans actually up there, they could be a little bit braver with color. They could be a little bit braver with designs down here because it was more modern. So, and there was something that didn't work. Like, you're not going to sell handbags in Dubai.
Of all places. Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Map It Forward, friends. I'm your host, Lee Safar, and this is episode 3 of our 5-part series talking about the Artisans of Palestine. Kim, tell us about the Tiger Leather Project in Hebron from Mohammad and Dwaid. Did I say that right? Okay.
Well, I'm probably not going to say it correctly either. I'm tragic in that I only speak English, and after living in the Middle East for so long, my grandson's teaching me how to speak Arabic. I don't know how to.
Oh, bless his heart.
And I'm kind of jumping on. I have a friend, Gail, who is the mentor for Tiger Leather, and it would be great if she was here speaking to you because she's very passionate about it. But you know, I'll do my best, and then she can criticize me if she wants to later on. But Tiger Leather is it's a young man called Mohammad, and Hebron is a quite a big city in the West Bank. I went there in September and I met this family. I met Mohammad, and it was my first time going into Hebron, and it was actually a revelation for me because I had seen photos and videos of the old town where there's the fence above the markets where there's a lot of conflict, and it looks quite intimidating and scary. Driving into Hebron, it's the most beautiful, fertile land. Yeah, and lots of fruit trees growing. Grapes were in season at the time. I've never tasted grapes that were so good. Figs. It was just, we were very lucky. It was the best time to be there. It was still warm, but very, very green. And for me, I already knew that the West Bank is a very fertile area with quite a lot of water. So it grows a lot of the food down there, which is part of the reason why there's so many legal settlements, because of the water and the food security that they need. But Hebron is crazy beautiful, and it's a very, very big town, city as well. Muhammad is a young man who was already making really nice leather handcrafts. Hebron is really famous for 2 things that I know of. I could be wrong, but the leatherwork and the glass. They do glass blowing down there as well. And Gail is the ambassador or the mentor that is working with Tiger Leather. And Gail is a very successful interior designer here. And she was on the original, one of the people that was on the original hike with us when we were in 2019. She's originally Scottish. She's tiny and feisty and very clever. And Mohammad actually didn't need a lot of help. He makes his leatherwork in a workshop under his family home. His sister Reem is crazy clever. I have to try and remember what she is, but she's a scientist. I'll see if I can find what it is, but she can't work in Jerusalem at the moment because there's no Palestinians that can move out of the West Bank because of the conflicts at the moment. So she's helping Mohammad, and she often does help him anyway because Mohammad, we can communicate, but it's not as easy, whereas Reem is very proficient with her English. So at the moment, Mohammad, Reem, and their parents are all helping him work on the leather, on Tiger Leather. It's a beautiful brand. Gail has helped just by making some very small tweaking improvement designs with things like sunglass cases, beautiful leather-bound notebooks that all my friends have been getting those as gifts. She's helping them to make designs for iPads and laptops for people like me that move around. Now that's one thing following COVID. you can work from anywhere basically, and it's something that's a lot more accepted. They were selling their products by going to local markets, and I think through connections we've met some other people up there that already had established platforms that were not bringing their products here to the United Arab Emirates, but they, for more than 10 years, a business like Handmade Palestine was sending their products up to America, to the US. She has a very big platform and network, a successful platform for handicrafts of different products that were similar to what we were trying to do. So the lady's name was Morgan. She's married to a Palestinian. They have 2 small children and they live in Ramallah. So when we were there in September, rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, we'd reached out to her to ask if she would like to meet us so that we could talk about the products that she had that we could bring down to the United Arab Emirates. And then there were products like this tiger leather that she wasn't sourcing, that would she be interested in looking at some of those so that they could try and get the products to the States as well. So that's something. And she has already a lot longer experience that she was happy to share with us about what she believed her customers were looking for in the States. And Gail had helped Mohammad to go to some trade shows in Istanbul and places where there were other leather craftsmen, where he could look at sourcing a different type of leather. So she's using her expertise not to get his products into her the work she's doing with the hotels that she designs, because that's what she does. She does interior design for hotels, but more using her network of other suppliers where she can connect him to that end of the supply chain. And then as artisans, we're bringing his products down here, and now we are able to tap him into the market in the States.
So for anyone, like, I know you were worried about being a white Kiwi woman coming on here talking about
white
this.
Lady, I think is what I said. Yes.
And I know for sure that there are going to be people like, oh, why is there a white woman talking about Palestine? This is why there's a white woman talking about Palestine.
There are so many things that we've done for the coffee business where we've worked with consultants, where we were, getting ready to do a refresh of our brand and collecting analytics and data on who our customers are and that type of thing. And then realizations that, okay, our job as a roaster is to tell the story of where the coffee comes from. And then our job as a roaster and a cafe operator is to use coffee to connect people. You can do that with other products. It's the same as, I think a lot of the rules, and you would know this, a lot of the rules that you have for being a good business owner relate to any product or service. We feel deeply connected to coffee because that's the industry we work in. But actually the rules of running a good ethical coffee business can be applied to any business.
It's just the difference in product.
And sometimes it might be communication. I think dealing as a buyer of green coffee around the world, it's hard sometimes communicating with people where you're forced, they have to speak English to you because that's the only language you speak. And, maybe culturally there are things that we shouldn't do because we don't know the right way to behave. I think there's a lot that you can forgive when it's over a cup of coffee. Because
100%.
you sit together for a little while, and you go through and the Middle East is great for that because you always start a business discussion with an Emirati calmly over a cup of coffee. And there's a protocol and a way to behave. And at the beginning I'm mortified because I probably didn't know what it was, and I just launched into whatever I wanted to talk about. But I think there's one thing, as you get older, it's okay to realize you've made mistakes in the past, but you should learn, because to be respectful, you're both going to end up with a better outcome.
Yeah, I'm learning how to forgive myself from the past mistakes. But, that's a work in progress.
I think you have to, because you can't change the past.
You can't. No,
but
you can't.
Hopefully we can change the future, and working towards a more, for our industry of coffee, there's only going to be specialty coffee if we pay fair prices. There's only going to be specialty coffee, and the differentiation between commodity or, franchise, big global chains, and what we're all trying to do as an owner-operator, if we're better at what they do. And, part of the reason they're good at what they do is because they're consistent.
Yeah.
They're consistent with communication. They're consistent with their product. We have to take bits from different industries that work and try and apply them, I think, to be better, and to always aim to continue being better, even if it's only that 1% rule, that you each day you try and be 1% better than what you were the day before.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Mappa Forward's first on-demand workshop, How to Become a Coffee Consultant. Available now online for you to learn at your own pace, with a certificate available upon completion. Click the link in the show notes to access today for just €50.
Tiger Leather didn't need a lot done. They needed a little bit of tweak. They already had all their equipment. They had their leather, but that to give them some different leather. To understand as well, something that we've found is that the market for their products that they have, and other artisans actually up there, they could be a little bit braver with color. They could be a little bit braver with designs down there, because it was more modern. So, and there was something that didn't work. Like, you're not going to sell handbags in Dubai.
Of all places.
We've got all of the handbags from everywhere else in the world. Like, I have a friend-old hand-me-down handbag. I'm not a normal Emirati UAE Dubai woman, but there are people that still, it's very important that you have the right handbag. But to know what the market's looking for, that's a luxury that we have, that we can say, look, I'm really sorry, they're not going to work. And probably belts and things like that too, fashion things. But there are many things that are more artisan that people love. So these are the things we want to concentrate on. And it's just, and I think building, going back to coffee, the reason that we have good coffee that keeps getting better, I think, year on year, is because we have trust with our relationships. So then it's building trust with these guys, these producers in Palestine or wherever it would be, because if they trust that we have a good intentions, we're not just trying to take their products and sell it for more, and they're not giving them money, and we're actually trying to work with them so that they're successful and we can send the money back to them, that's success for us. Yeah.
And it's a deep responsibility. I think that's the differentiating factor in the specialty coffee industry than in other parts of the industry, is that we have the ability to form these direct relationships with producers and then go on to have these relationships that can be generation changing.
Yep. And that is a responsibility. I think, I personally, and I think my business partner Matt feels the same way, we have a deep sense of responsibility to the farmers we work with, to the team we have working with us. We have to make really good decisions because there's a lot of people that rely on us. And I haven't said customers. I'm more concerned about the relationship with the farmers and the team. I definitely care about the customers because we need to be a sustainable, viable business to be able to look after those other two. But, that's a solution-driven concept, whereas the relationship and the trust that comes from your team and it comes from your suppliers.
Yeah. We have a couple episodes left to go, and we have 2 more businesses that we're going to talk about. In the next episode, let's talk about the glass jewelry company.
The silversmithing.
The silversmithing.
Yeah.
Galacia. So join us for the next episode, folks. And I just want to let you know, if you check the show notes, there are some YouTube videos that are connecting in with, so that you can get a visual reference for these businesses, and it's just beautiful artisanship. So make sure you check the show notes. Okay, join us for the next episode, friends. Peace, love, and peanut butter. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thanks, friends. If you enjoyed this video, here's what you should check out next. Consider supporting Map It Forward on Patreon, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell before you leave.